part 2 of, like, we're just chatting today. Like, we're chatting, but go watch part 1 first. Or he may not understand some. But becoming an Abby favorite, when it happened, I was, like, almost in tears. Like, I was freaking out. And literally, Abby directly said, she said my dad's name. She said, she went like, I don't think, then she said my dad's name. And it's gonna make it. And because I was freaking out, like Abby Lee Miller just said that, and it meant so much. And another thing is that was like, and it came at the perfect time, because I really always underestimated myself in a way that, like, almost wasn't good. Like, it was almost like to the point where it wasn't good anymore. Like, it wasn't good mental health, like, or anything. Because up to that point, I always, like, kind of in a way knew I was good, but I wouldn't fully believe it. Like, it kind of was like that push that I needed to, like, really understand, hey, I'm good and I'm talented. I don't need to worry about, like, not being good and talented. Abby likes me. She wouldn't have done it if she didn't like me. And it was because I was so focused on the fact that I wasn't flexible and stuff, and it was starting to really get to me. So yeah, it was a thing. And it was one of those moments when it's like, it was so different. And I say this because, like, up to that point, I never said anything about my dancing too much. Like, whether I was good or not, I always just kind of went like, oh, I'm good, but, like, not, like, in a super, like, believable way. Like, in a way that, like, I believed it kind of, but my brain wasn't fully believing it. Like, my heart knew, my brain didn't. Or the other way around, I don't know. But, like, it was a thing. And so, like, up to something that I will say, this is true. When that happened, the first thought I went to was, I just made one of my dreams happen. And it kind of just boosted me up to where now confidence is, like, the thing that, like, for me, I feel like I also, like, my brain was just nothing but happy and excited for a while. But when I saw Abby again and on Zoom, and I want to say this was, like, 1 or 2 weeks later. It was, like, a couple weeks later and stuff. I freaked out, and I went to this, like, really dark, like, nervous wreck place. And I feel like what happened, though, was I feel like, generally, this is what happened when my brain clicked into the other side. Because the thing is, there was another side. There still is another side that I feel like I put there myself, which is, Abby believes in me. That's a big deal. I can't let her down. And, like, so I feel like then it was like I was just kind of, like, up in my head, and I just needed to, like, step out of it. And once I did, so literally, I'm freaked out because I'm like, I'm gonna let her down and stuff. But I kind of, like, and it wasn't really that, it was more like, there's a chance that I could let her down. And then, so I freaked out a little bit, and then Abby actually fixed it again. she like fixed it. And what I mean by again is that like she like made me be a better dancer. I feel like up to that point, like it was hard because at the time things were different. At the time, my parents were hard on me, and I feel like they still are hard on me. They're very, like, here's the thing, is that, and I feel like we kind of went through phases with my parents. Like, I have set rules, and I, like, have set rules for my parents. They're reasonable rules, which is number one, you're not allowed to argue with the teacher. Number two, they gotta trust that the teacher has a plan for me. Number three, if it takes me a little longer to get something right, they can't freak out about it because I'm working my hardest for it and they know how badly I want it, and that's okay. Like, not everything's gonna come natural and easy. Number four, I'm primarily this one person, which is actually a good one, and this actually applies to anyone that is at my house when I have dance and stuff, which I'm really excited for because I have been wanting, something that I really have been wanting to do is like I never get to show off to my family like in class, and now it's like pretty soon my mom's brother is bringing in our my baby sister to me, which is to me and my parents and stuff, which is because my family's growing and we're getting another dog. That's a little girl, and her and Sam are my baby siblings. So like when he comes, it works out because most likely I'm gonna have dance, and I get to show off. And so I'm like really excited about it also because I feel like a part of the reason that we didn't go and see him, well, it came down to a few things. Number one being that I feel like my mom said that like we couldn't afford it and stuff because it's an expensive trip. Number two being I had dance the timing that we were planning to go. I had boot camp. And so I feel like I really want him to see why and understand it more because I work really hard in dance. And it's just hard for me not to want to dance 24/7. It's just really hard. So like Abby, in a way, like I also had like which is that, and the rule is, and if they ask me to unmute you, everyone has to be quiet for a minute, just until I'm muted again. And the reason that I put this rule is because, first up, we're in a dance class. Like, even though it's through Zoom, it's still a dance class. And so, like, they gotta trust that I know how to handle it. The thing is because I'm the type of person where if I get a correction, I'm gonna do everything I can to fix it and apply it. And that's something like, I don't argue with my teachers and stuff about like, oh, you gave me a correction but I was doing it right. If I wasn't, like, I don't argue in general with them, because I trust them. Because I know in some way, shape, or form they have a plan for me in class, and I just gotta trust that they know what they're doing because they're the professional, and I'm the student. They're the teachers, I'm the student, and they're the ones training me, and they have a plan. Then the last one I have is, is that my parents are not allowed to interfere. And what I mean by that is actually this is something that I truly say is because of the fact that sometimes my mom almost, like my mom compared me sometimes, and I actually had to get on her about it to stop, because what happened is, yes, like you should, like she should be comparing, but the thing is she was also like doing it in not a good way. She was like getting annoyed with me that like other people had their like higher than mine and stuff in a class that we all know isn't my strongest area because it's flexibility. We all know it's not my strongest area, and it's okay. And like and what I mean by this is because what happened was I had like a class with Abby one day, and she like got on me, like my mom got on me about we were doing something and my leg wasn't as high as some other people on Zoom and stuff, and it was flexibility, not my strongest area. Yeah, it's actually my second weakest area. My weakest area is my balance. And so, like, and Abby had no problem with it because she didn't say anything to me. And I literally looked at my mom, and I said, and if Abby had a problem with it, she would tell me. And then I explained it to her later, and she's like, because she would compare me to someone who, first up, I'm not the flexibility isn't my strong area, and this person that she would compare me to, and like flexibility clearly is their area, cause their leg was like 3 times my leg, like their leg was like almost over past their head. Mine was barely in, like mine was like barely in a split. So like their leg was like much farther up and more flexible than mine. So like it made sense that like Abby didn't say anything because Abby knows. And what I was doing was pretty good for me. So like we had to get on her. But I do allow my parents to correct me in class, like if they see like my foot sickled or something, and they're allowed to be like, hey, fix that foot. Unless unless the teacher specifically asked it to be that way, then they get no say. It's up to the teacher. So yeah, like, but being an Abby favorite, I feel like I felt like what happened though was that we were doing an acrobatic class. I was a nervous wreck because acro isn't my strongest area. It's gotten a lot better though. Or no, I can't wait to see what I'm given tomorrow. So literally what happened, and I was freaking out. It was very obvious. And at the end of the class, Abby, like, I want to go and, like, kind of talk to each person for a minute. And she got to me, and she said, you're a nervous wreck. You don't need to be. You're talented. You're really good. This isn't your area. But you can't let me down. Like, unless you stop wanting it and stop working, you can't let me down. Like, it's impossible. And that, like, she said something like that. And I don't remember the exact word that might have been. And I haven't been nervous since then. And I will say, like, when we get Abby, it kind of is like, I get really excited, but then, like, I also know a lot of work's gonna come with it, and that's what I have to do. So I'm really excited to show off my hard work because I feel like my family has seen here and there bits and pieces of it. But the thing is, my family hasn't seen some of it. Like, they haven't seen my leaps now that they improved a lot, and now that they're much higher in the air. Like, my family has seen my splits and my side tilt, and that's about it. And my cartwheel, but also it was when my sister saw it, and it was when I had, like, first kind of, like, started on the, like, one-handed cartwheel, so my cartwheel was still bad. It still is bad. I'm gonna actually do one right now. Wait, let me do it again because I hit the wall. One more. That one was actually pretty good. The only problem that I have is that for some reason I don't do, like, for some reason both of my legs, like, go, when I do a cartwheel, both legs kind of go up, and they, like, kind of, like, they separate a little bit, but not much. I'm trying something really, really quick. Okay. So, like, I think there's not, like, a massive separation, but it works. It works. So, like, for me, I'm that side because I'm the only, like, people who have seen me in class other than my parents and my brother and his wife and some of her family. They saw one time. So, like, I feel like now, first up, I really loved booney camp. I feel like I really loved it because my training got so much from it. I feel like there were different things. Like, the thing was for me, I feel like for the training it got 1,000 times better. I felt like I came out of boot camp as a new dancer. Part of me did wish I was in person because in person, like, people got, like, a lot more from, like, they got to, like, do a Q&A with, like, Abby and, like, Kathy and Vivian and Hudson, which were people, but Vivian is Kathy's daughter, and they were on Dance Mom from, like, season 1. I think they came into, like, episode 1 or 2. Or something. It was, like, near the very beginning. And then there was, like, but then I feel like me, like, personally, like, cause they got, like, involved with that, and they got, like, autographed headshots, and, like, chances to win, like, scholarships and stuff, which I really did wish I had won a scholarship for a year, because it's something that, like, because my parents, like, they pay a lot for dance, and I feel like they pay so much for dance, and I just really am thankful for it, but it's also hard sometimes because my mom mainly looks at, like, the money side. And the thing is, like, I actually, truth be told, and I say this, and I probably will never say this in front of my parents. And the reason I say, well, actually not true, because it's not even that bad, is that they actually don't pay nearly as much as a lot of people do for dance. Because most people who pay for dance, they pay for, like, the dance classes, then they pay for, like, the competition fees, and then, like a little bit more money for the dance because of rehearsals, learning the dances, and then, like, they pay for, like, singing lessons and all of this, and, like, dance conventions. So, like, it was a lot. A lot. It's a lot usually, but for me, it was, like, a really exciting thing, and I'm very thankful. Not exciting, like, oh, they pay so much, because it is a lot. It's, like, almost $300, like, every couple of months. But it's worth so much. Like, it's worth it so much, and I feel like the thing is that I'm planning to create a schedule today for, like, videos and stuff this next, like, week or so. But the thing is, there might be some changes in it, and I'm gonna warn you ahead of time. And the reasoning is because of the fact that, first up, we don't have an exact day yet. When my mom's brother is coming with, and my baby sister, she's a new little dog, and stuff. But by the way, I did want to clarify with this that just in case you were wondering, like, because he did find her on the streets, she did not have a home, and we, like, know that for a fact. She had no collar or harness or, like, a tag or anything like that. She literally, there was no missing dog posters or anything. It seemed, and here's the thing, we don't know this, but it almost seemed as if someone, like, maybe they had a dog that had her or something, and then, like, they picked her up and left her on the streets, like, purposely, because you could clearly tell that this dog she had been on her own since she was little. She looks really young. We think she's about 6 weeks old. We're not sure. But she's, like, really, really, really little. Like, there's no way she is a year old or more. Like, she's really little. Well, if she is, then that's cool too. But, like, that's the thing that I'm, like, like, it's hard to almost tell with that, because at first I went like, oh, we can figure out her birthday from that, but then we can tell kind of the week that is her birthday, probably. You don't, well, like, not down to the day. Then, so yeah, like, here's the and so with that, but, like, we think that because of the fact that she, like, loves the car. Like, she's used to the car. Considering he opened up and he was gonna, like, bring her home and stuff, like, take care of her and stuff. And he opened up the car door and she literally jumped right in. Ready to go. And she, like, isn't scared of people. Like, she likes people, from what we know. So we're, like, there's no way that this dog had a home. So we would never, like, take her if she had a home. But, like, I'm excited because there might be some schedule changes. So because we don't have an exact day. And the reason we say that is because my dad says that it could be in, all we know, it's anywhere between the next 2 weeks. Meaning we could get a phone call on, like, today and from him being like, okay, I, like, got my, car or truck, I'm fixed, and I'm coming tomorrow and bringing her. Or it could be, it could be, 13 days from now, we don't know, just anywhere within the next 2 weeks, we know that. Or at least by then we'll have, an exact day or something. Because he's getting a car or a truck fixed up, and then he's coming. But I'm excited because I put so much into dance, and I feel like I really just want a chance to, show it all off. All off to, my family and stuff, and so now it's I have so many great things about dance that I love, and so for me, the big thing that I feel like is the problem, and I'm gonna stop, which is why I'm gonna actually try to do this a little more, or and post more of it on social media, the actual dancing, the training, the different things. I'm actually gonna have my dad film a TikTok for me, hopefully tomorrow. And so go to my TikTok, Lolly Forever 5, 05, I think. 05. Because I think it's Lolly Forever 5 or 05, one of them. And then go to my About section on my channel. And you will see. Also, I'm gonna change it today. After this, I'm changing it because I wanna update it. And, I just wanna, update it and, make it more updated because of the fact that so much has changed kind of in a way. And that, dance-wise and career-wise, I'm a much stronger dancer. And so, part of me, yes, part of me wanted to be in person with ALDC Booney Camp, but I got what my money was paid for, or what my parents' money, but technically, I actually have that paid off. Yeah, I have that paid off. And some of, a master class. I think, let me think. Yeah, I think I have, some of a master class paid off, and then, boot camp paid off. And also what I owe my parents. And because what happens in our house is because I don't make enough money with my allowance. And to afford dance and all of this, so but I have a really good idea for a TikTok tomorrow. So I'm gonna have my dad film. So I'm gonna go update, but I will say that with boot camp I felt like a new person. Truth be told, I thought boot camp was gonna be the most tiring thing ever, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, and I kind of wish it was more tiring. I kind of wish there was some conditioning in there, and I'm so like I wish it was a little more tired, but I'm training my way to like I to see. But I really enjoyed boot camp. I felt like a new person afterwards, like a new dancer had formed in such a good way, and it was amazing. So I'm gonna go, but there might be schedule changes here and there this week because I generally don't know. Like things are just might have schedule changes. Peace out.